Have you ever just wanted to write, but you find yourself staring at a completely blank page? Well, in her incredible book, Writing Down the Bones, Natalie Goldberg says the solution isn't about becoming a better writer. Nope, it's about meeting your true self. She sees writing not as a craft, but as a practice for your entire life.
Goldberg really gets right to the heart of it with this idea. For her, writing isn't just about putting pretty words together. It's a powerful, powerful tool for self-discovery. It's a way to get intimate with your own mind, to really understand what you think and feel. And this therapeutic approach, well, that's the core of her entire philosophy.
But we all know the problem, right? The moment you pick up a pen, this other voice shows up. That little critic on your shoulder, the editor, the censor. It's so full of fear, always trying to be polite, and it can stop you dead in your tracks. So the real question is, how do you get past that to connect with what's really going on inside?
Goldberg's answer is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. Treat writing as a practice. Yeah, think of it less like a project you have to finish and more like a daily discipline, Kind of like meditation or going for a run. The goal isn't just a finished product. It's about using the act of writing to dig into your life and, as she puts it, become sane. And you should know, this method isn't just something she made up. It's deeply rooted in her years of formal Zen practice. It's all about studying the mind itself, which, let's be honest, is the #1 tool for any writer. The whole point is to cut through all that internal chatter and connect with what she calls the essential awake speech of your mind. This quote actually comes from her own Zen master, Katagiri Roshi. He saw this incredible potential in her work. He is the one who encouraged her to make writing her main spiritual practice. He promised her that if she went deep enough, it wouldn't just be about words on a page. It would become a path to understanding, well, everything.
Okay, so how do you actually start? Here's the beautiful part. It's so accessible. You don't need fancy software or an expensive degree. Goldberg keeps the barrier to entry super, super low, which basically gives you total permission to just explore and, yeah, even to fail.
So here it is. This is your entire toolkit. A fast-writing pen so your hand can keep up with your brain. A cheap spiral notebook, and listen, this part is crucial. If you buy an expensive, fancy journal, you're going to feel pressure to write something profound. A cheap one gives you permission to fill it with what she calls junk, which is an absolutely essential part of the process. And the last thing? Your own mind. That's it, you're ready.
The absolute core technique of this entire program is the timed writing session. It might just seem like a simple little constraint, but that structure is exactly what creates the freedom to just let go.
So you pick an amount of time. It could be just 10 minutes to start, no big deal, and you make one single commitment. For that whole time, you're going to write and do nothing else. No pausing, no rereading, no checking your phone, just writing. Now, to make these timed sessions really work, Goldberg gives us a set of rules. And it's so important to see them not as restrictions, but as ways to set yourself free. They are specifically designed to help you sneak past that internal critic and tap into a wilder, more honest part of your mind. Okay, here are the 6 keys to unlocking your mind. 1. Keep your hand moving. No matter what, just keep writing. 2. Don't cross out. That's editing. That's your critic, and it breaks the flow. 3. Forget grammar and spelling completely. Who cares? 4. Lose control. This is the exact opposite of what we're taught in school, right? 5. Don't think logically. Let your mind jump around. And finally, number 6, this is the big one, go for the jugular. If something scary or vulnerable pops up, you write directly into it. That's where all the energy is. So what's the whole point of these rules? It's all about getting to what Goldberg calls first thoughts. And she makes this really important distinction. See, first thoughts are raw. They're energetic, totally uncensored. It's that first flash of what your mind really thinks. Second thoughts, well, that's what comes after. The polite, logical, and honestly, pretty boring version that our ego polishes up for everyone else to see. This practice is all about grabbing those first thoughts before the second thoughts can take over. Okay, so we've got the tools and we've got the rules. But to really make this a sustainable, life-changing practice, we've got to shift our mindset. This next part is all about moving beyond the how-to and embracing the deeper attitude you need to just trust the process. Goldberg introduces this just brilliant metaphor for this mindset. She calls it composting. And think about it. Our minds are constantly taking in experiences, conversations, feelings, and a lot of it feels random. She says we should treat all that stuff like a compost pile. We have to be patient and just let all those details break down and mix together through our writing practice. And then, eventually, they create this rich, fertile soil where our truest stories can finally grow. And this brings us right back to that core therapeutic goal. This isn't about suffering for your art.
It's the total opposite. The process of writing, of composting your life, is a process of becoming whole again. Your art and your sanity are on the exact same team.
So ultimately, the goal is to learn to trust your own mind. When you stop being afraid of the junk and the bad thoughts in your notebook, you also stop being afraid of the critics, both the one in your head and the ones out in the world. Committing to the practice doesn't just give you good writing. It builds this deep, lasting security in your own unique voice. This practice isn't just something you do for 10 minutes at your desk and then you're done. The real transformation, the magic, it happens when you start weaving this new way of paying attention into your entire life. So what does that actually look like? Well, first, Goldberg says to live twice. So you live your life in the moment, but you also nurture that part of you that's always observing. Second, be an animal. Just move through the world with all your senses wide open. Then, caress the divine details, which just means really pay attention and care about the little things around you. And finally, trust yourself. The practice teaches you how to listen to your own voice, both on and off the page.
So, after all this practice, all this composting, this learning to trust, where does it all actually lead? What's the real payoff of this incredible program?
It leads to this, a real, solid connection with your own mind. It leads to finding genuine joy in just expressing yourself without worrying about what anyone else thinks. And ultimately, it leads to knowing that you are free. Free from that internal censor, free to speak your truth, and free to be who you really are.
And in the end, Goldberg just cuts through everything with this powerful, direct, unforgettable call to action. It's not a gentle suggestion. It's a command, a loving one, but a command nonetheless. Because after all the talking is done, the only thing left to do is the practice itself.